Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here to watch more Vinland Saga. Last time we had Freedom, where Gardar asked Arnheid to take their son, Hajidi, and leave with him, but he is confronted by Snake, Fox, and Badger. Snake confronts Gardar, and although Gardar is an accomplished swordsman, Snake knocks him out so he can be taken alive for judgment. Einar wants to help Gardar, but Snake warns Einar and Thorfinn not to get involved. He tells Arnheid to forget about Gardar as he is taken away. Later, Einar wants to rescue Gardar, but Arnie tells them the story of how Gardar and the village men went off to fight over a body of iron ore while they were gone. The village was raided, and the women and children were taken away, and she has not seen Hajidi since then. She also explains that she is pregnant with Kettle's child, which will provide her with some security as she waits out the storm that is her life. Cervical overhears and tells her a story of decisions he made to wait out the storms in his own life, but each left scars behind. Arnheit decides that she must settle things with Gardar and walks out into the cold, windy night.
I think the weirdest thing about the recaps is that I
Yeah.
never hear these people's names so much as when you're doing the recap.
Oh, yeah. Trust me, I feel weird saying Gardar like 20 times in a row over here.
Well, just mean I don't associate them with their names. I associate with them with their faces. This is a face show for me. So it's like if I'm describing somebody, be like, "Oh yeah, the slave woman that's serving Kettle, right? Kettle's a name that's in my head only specifically because it's Kettle's farm, right?
Yeah.
So I have him stuck in my head, not so much because his name is a person, but as a location, and then he owns the location. He is Kettle.
He is the land itself. He is all that is provided to us by the show. Uh, but I'm thinking I'm focusing in on the drama right now, where of course Arnheid seems like she is about to make a terrible decision of some kind. Gardar is probably gonna die in one way or another. And danger is still coming towards the farm, and we haven't had it come here yet.
I think I
Kettle is
said
not
it.
returned.
I think I said it last time, where it looked like in the preview or last episode at the very end, it was nighttime and she's walking off towards he's being held. And the next episode looked like a lot of daytime, and a lot of people were angry.
She could
So
be leaving in the morning.
no, I'm saying the idea being that whatever she's going to do, she can do at the very start of the episode, and it's going to piss a lot of people off.
Oh yeah, that is very likely. But I mean, she has a lot of stuff going on. Last episode was literally her episode explaining her entire position, and she's in the unfortunate position of having no good choices. Either the person she loves dies, or the child she's interested in bringing into this world is probably going to be in a bit of danger. I don't think there's any good outcome for her, and she's kind of admitted this already with the whole storm metaphor. Everything's going wrong, you just gotta wait for it.
Right.
But she's all done waiting, so we're gonna get some action. I think that's what's on my mind. You got any last thoughts
Well,
on
let's
yours
hop
before we
into it.
begin? Alright then, but before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and catch us over on the Patreon. It's only $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, it's just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below, join the Discord. Suggest any shows for the future. We got polls coming up. Alright, starting with the intro.
I mean, it's just gonna go ahead and start building up tension. How are things going to get worse this time? Or will they even? I think this is why I'm liking Vinland Saga as much as I am. I don't expect particularly anything. I just know that there's a wide range of possibilities, and the show is more than willing to surprise me with either side of it. Are we going to get the tragedy, or are we going to get like the hopeful everybody healing aspect? Whereas like last season, it was just like, yeah, Thorfinn is going to be in even worse shit this time. Let's see how deep he digs the hole.
Well, I mean, at the very least, it lives up to the saga part of the name, because it very much does feel like a saga, especially given how we've gone from Thorfinn as a child to an adult, or at least a late teen to early 20s. But either way, we're covering the aspects of the world that have existed during his growing up. So, like Einar's life took place within Thorfinn's lifespan.
And then I think of sorry, I just think of stories like Beowulf, where just like, and then 10 years later, where we get none of this.
I mean, this guy has the right response to being enslaved. I don't think anyone's, audience-wise, would think, no, I wouldn't be that guy. I think everyone's like, I'm that guy.
Fighting back against your oppressors? Violence is always wrong. Man, the fort really is just not holding up these days, huh?
明日にしろよな、明日に。いや、俺に言われても。とにかく奥方がどうしてもって。あんのババア。普段は警備のことなんざ、俺ら任せのくせに。賞金の馬3頭のことじゃないっすかね。分け前起こせってのか、ごつくババアめ。
Well, the cost difference between the one of your guys that got killed and 3 horses?
Sorry, we gotta interrupt your internal politics with drama.
夫にガルザルに会わせていただけませんか？
ダメだ。
怪我をしているんですよね。傷の具合はどうですか？
知るか、そんなもん。なんで俺が手下の仇を解放しなきゃなんねんだよ。兄貴、うまっす。おう、奥方んとこ行ってくる。お前、アルネーズをジジイの家に送り返してこい。
So you gonna sweet talk this guy?
100%.
Or is he gonna lazy his way into...
No wonder it's daytime later in the episode. We spend all night walking back and forward.
お願いします。夫に会わせてください。誓って逃がそうなんて思っていません。傷の手当てをしてあげたいだけなんです。
File hidden in the water.
いや、でも兄貴がね。
He's already lost.
おいおいおいおい。なんだよそりゃ。ケーティルの旦那の可愛い子ちゃんじゃねえか。兄貴がこの女にガルザルの手当てを許可したんだよ。本当だぞ。
You can tell it's true, because I just said it's true. Wouldn't have said it otherwise.
I feel like this just really shows they never had any plans for like what to do if they needed to hold a captive for a while. God, he's feral.
Is she gonna kill him? There's so many ways this scene can go. I think she might kill him.
おい。ああ、大丈夫だ。縄を切るような道具は持ってね。ならいいけどよ。おい、アルネイズ。亭主がわざわざ迎えに来てくれたんだぞ。 手当てなんて言わねえでもっといいことしてやれよ。
Why you gotta be an asshole, man?
こんなに縛られていては手当てできません。今だけでも縄を。
そりゃ無理な相談だな。何を絞っちゃいねえ。
Well, I guess you find your porn where you can get it.
そりゃそうだ。アルネイス。
And I mean, as crude as he's being, having a wife and a husband have sex in front of you isn't the worst.
二度とそなたとヒャルティのそばを離れたりしない。もう二度と私が間違っていた。
That time old piano tune.
アルネイス。
Ah, yes, nothing like threatening to go back to the way things were.
Well, I mean, she hasn't clearly told him that she thinks the kid is dead. Either.
やり直そう。何もかも元通りにしよう。私の戒めを解いてくれ。
With what? My mind?
何を言う。許しを請うのは私の方だ。さあ、アルネイズ、しっかりしてくれ。しらけたぜ。雨が強くなってきた。
Yeah, having to empathize with other people must make you feel real bad, man.
Well, I mean, again, it's not the worst position. The worst position if he started jerking it to this.
責任持って見張れよな。だよ。おい。おい、アルネイズ。もういいか。気済んだだろ。俺様女に弱えのがたまに。
That's my only flaw.
サービスは終わりだ。ほら立ちな。
Oh, he's still crazy.
It's not crazy, he's just doing what he can. Great, now I'm a zombie.
Gosh, what a way for a story to go if that were so.
And no going back for you now, is there?
And of course, everyone inside is not listening at all.
Oh, God!
You saw the chunk of flesh he spat out.
Yeah, but the wound is different from the removing bit.
Of all people, you might
Having
be
the
feeling this
wherewithal to pull your sword with your throat ripped out. Still, man, props. You tried. I thought she was gonna try and kill her husband as like a I've gotta remove the past sort of thing. This is fucked. Called it.
This person's death is on your hands, Arnie.
Why would they kill me? Does it look like I bit his throat out? Does this woman
Oh.
have the quickest reaction time in history? They were running at
So-
full gait out the door, and she was not doing anything.
Oh gosh, this is.
俺があれほど油断すんなと。兄貴、来てくれ。こいつの件です。先の方を見てください。血は雨で流されちまったけど、油がついてる。刺したんですよ、敵を。深いな。はい。手負いの上に手。
Is that like a really weird way of calling him fat?
は馬もなかったはずだ。
There's grease on it?
Humans have fat inside their body.
That's what I'm saying. How much grease do you have to leave? How much fat do you have to leave grease on the sword and not
Apparently
blood?
enough to start a fire if you're in Rurouni Kenshin.
But I mean to leave grease on the sword and not blood. How many McDonald's hamburgers do you have to eat?
Oh,
What
no,
if-
Einar.
What if we all run away from the farm now and we never see the resolution to the kettle Canute thing?
Yes, as it's all about to blow up, yeah.
And then Leaf doesn't find Thorfinn again.
Oh, that's even more tragic.
お前こそ寝てないだろう。うなされずに起きてくるなんて。まあ。俺を見張ってたのか。夜のうちに俺が無茶をしでかすと思ったか。
Oh my gosh, I just realized Kettle's about to come back to like 5 of his like 8 men dead.
Well, they were just a group that he hired to look over the farm.
Yeah, now he has nobody.
Well, I mean, just saying they weren't, like, close. Oh, you mean... I think it's more important that when Canute's company shows up, and there's only 3 guys left. Not that those 3 guys are going to stand up to 70-something.
資格はないけど間違ってる間違っていたアルネーズさんはお前が戦士だったことは知らないと思うよ
I don't think anybody does.
Snake does.
俺は彼女のような人にそれを知られるのが恐ろしいどうしてあんなに人を傷つけて 平気でいられたのか想像もつかないよお前のそんな姿なあトルフィン
Man, season 1 and season 2 is like the difference between, in reverse, the original trilogy and the prequels. I just mean in the way of action, right? Thorfinn was jumping football fields in season 1. Dude barely moves more than a snail's crawl today.
両方を経験してきたお前なら何かひらめきがあるんじゃないかどうすればいいどうすれば戦争と奴隷をなくすことができる
That's a lot to ask of Thorfinn. Much less anyone else.
俺には自分の経験したことしかわからないが
I just think it's funny, it's their theme, considering we live in the modern age and kinda know that they didn't win.
奴隷が生まれてしまうんだお前やアルネイズさんのように戦士と奴隷商人の境目は曖昧だ奴隷を生む原因は他にも
I misread that. They said the line between a slave thing was a bully.
奴隷も減るだろうでもノルドの男は戦争が良くないことだとは思っていない
Not to mention your king is about to come by and profit from having a whole bunch of slaves.
Again, I don't think Canute's showing up here. He sent Floki to be in charge, remember?
だから父親は息子に戦いを教え、武具を与えて軍船に乗せる。俺たちのルド人はずっと昔から当たり前にそうしてきた。なんであれ。
Hell, even your dad could only escape war for a little while. He could never escape slavery. Slaves kept trying to escape through his farm. Or whatever you call the place that he lived.
ノルドの社会では臆病者は生きていけない。でもいいんだ。
That's why we're going to France.
仲間外れの方がずっとマシだ。
彼ら。
死者たちだ。
The zombies are back.
俺が殺してしまった人たち。彼らの霊が毎晩のように現れて、俺を責め苛むんだ。
I killed a lot of people.
父を殺され、あんなにも怒り、恨んだお前が、なぜ何人もの父や兄、息子を殺したんだ。
Little low there, buddy. Okay, thank you.
俺はこの人たちに償いをしなければいけない。この人たちが安らかに眠れるところへ連れて行ってあげなければ。もうこれ以上は無理だ。これ以上は一人だって背負えない。ずっと考えてる。
The show's way of letting us know that we shouldn't count on Thorfinn to fight.
Thorfinn is pretty heavily laying on what he wants to do here, which is good. We got a clear objective out of him.
今まで燃やしてきた以上の家をこの手で立て直さなくちゃ。世界全体から戦争をなくす方法は俺にはまだわからない。でもせめてこの世に一つくらい、ほんの村一つくらいでもいいんだ。
These are perfectly manageable goals, I think.
必要としない地を作りたい。
I don't know about manageable. They're good goals, but... Yeah, see?
Yeah, Ironar's here to inject some reality back into the hopeful idealism here.
That's what I'm saying. It's unmanageable. Because your village doesn't exist in a vacuum.
でもそれじゃダメなんだ。 平和のために戦争してちゃ意味がない。そんなんじゃあの殺し合いの。
It's the anti-Gundam 00.
Oh gosh, you're right. Actually, instead of interjecting in every fight and fighting harder, we literally cannot fight at all.
You can't fight people to stop them from fighting. That just leads to more fighting.
Maybe Vinland?
Look, the Indians don't think they're outcasts. I'm waiting for a name drop.
Oh, we're getting there now.
何もないわね。どこまで行ってもここと同じ戦と奴隷商人
And
がい
that's
る
when
だ
she
け。
walked to Vinland. I thought he was going to flash back to Leaf telling him a story as a kid.
海の向こう。
お
I have to say, given purely historical perspective, it is even more tragically saddening that his hope for a place without slaves and war is precisely the
there
opposite
you go,
given
he said
another
it.
700 years.
No, I mean, he's right, though. For his entire lifespan, if they went there, it'd be incredibly rare for somebody else to come. Especially a slave trader?
Mm-hmm.
Slave traders aren't explorers.
ならそこへ行けば。
いや恐ろしく遠いとも聞かされてたし正確な場所もわからない
I mean, I'd have to, I don't know, find Leaf again and have him tell me where it was. But that's not gonna happen. That guy's
The
probably
story is-
dead.
大事業だぞ
They're finally weaving it back together. They've been having it hanging there for ages.
そうか。
What episode are we on?
15.
やっと
Really holding it close to the chest.
聞けたよ。
It's the first bit of good news in a long while, Lena.
Yeah. But we have the dangling bad news. It's still on its way. And I wasn't even considering this part of the bad news, because we're in the same episode as it.
Yep, now that they've had their monologue about how they want to stop all the fighting, here's a bunch of people here ready for the fight.
We've been here all night. What's in us?
手強いぞ。なんですかこれ。朝っぱらから。
Even more confusing when it's not them they're after.
Oh, because they think he would hide her,
気配は
Yeah.
so he would be here too.
ガラクタが多すぎてわからねえ。全部放り出しちまえ。ったく、なんなんだよ。
逃げたんだ
え？
ガルサルが逃げた俺たちの物置小屋をひっくり返す理由が他にあるか
あれねいつだ。
I guess I'm just a little bit of a miss as to why he was envisioning her walking through the snow.
They just kind of like to tie it back into their conversation, like set the mood for it.
It
To
was,
set like how
Thorfinn.
tragic those thoughts are for him.
That was Thorfinn imagining her walking through the snow, though, which makes even more less sense.
I don't think I have much to expand on that one particularly. But I mean, I guess the two
Same
of them
scene.
do real same scene, yeah. I guess maybe if we're gonna go ahead and put a like story metaphor, it's the story telegraphing that yeah, she's walking to her death right now. There's
Well, I mean, we
no
don't know
other
where
option
he's
for
at.
her.
Gardar, we have no idea where Gardar is at.
Mm-hmm.
So, assumedly, she's not walking to her death if she's with him.
He's not in the shed.
Well, never thought he was in the shed. They too had a story about how Thorfinn spent all night awake watching Einar to make sure he didn't do something stupid. Einar clearly was awake all night. So, we obviously don't think Gardar slipped in while they were both looking.
Yeah, seems unlikely given they just figured it out after the fact.
Alright, well, first
Oh.
deduction here is not great at hiding. Because apparently they go right to them.
Right. She's back. Apparently, Gardar is being hidden away still, but not very well, as you just said. And Thorfinn's gonna have to say, no, we gotta stop the killing. That is going to be a hard sell for him in this situation. I do not see that going very well with Snake going, alright, but he killed like 6 people.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just pointing out that they're not good at hiding. That given the point that they two, you say they came back. I'm not saying that they came back. I'm saying that they just went somewhere that was so obvious to find. That our two
They already
guys.
mentioned it, actually. They already did. They mentioned specifically he's already been injured again, so now he has to wait to heal. So they
But-
can't leave.
But not enough that he's bleeding. Just enough that my sword got a little bit of grease on the edge of it.
Well, they covered that. It's because it's raining, that's why. So he
I
is
don't
bleeding,
know.
but
Their
it is covering it
description.
up.
Their description sounds like what would happen if a nerd who hasn't been washing their face for a couple of days got slapped in the face by the edge of a blade. Oh no, there's grease all over my blade.
Who do you think's writing the story, Theta? That's right, a nerd.
I don't know. Could be a rock and roll guy for all I know.
But I do like Thorfinn, like, literally laying out as directly to the audience as possible, like, his little redemption arc. Like, he is very specifically aware of it and is making sure the audience is, just in case you weren't following along at all.
Well,
Just in case you didn't know where this was going.
he's pointed out the irredeemable dream. Not the the facade of the pacifist who won't defend themselves either. Right?
Right.
Yeah.
He's not doing it entirely out of the notion of, like, I refuse violence because it's always bad. It's like, because he's doing it very specifically because he has a past where he's killed plenty of people and he does not want to do that again. He has very specific reasons. Those are good reasons.
Yeah, no, you said that. Not one more death.
Mhm.
And he wants a society that has no weapons. And that's why Einar's like, yeah, but the Vikings exist. And they'll come at you no matter what. That's why they're talking about having a society in Vinland, where it's too far away. But that's what I'm saying, though, is he is creating the impossible dream. And I'm trying my hardest not to sing songs from the play Don Quixote. But
Right.
he is doing the stupid move of the pacifist who doesn't believe in self-defense. It is impossible. Even if you go over to Vinland, the Indians fight each other,
There's still plenty of violence everywhere you go, and it is going to be interesting to see how the story engages with it. But it's also interesting seeing how the story engages with the idea, can Thorfinn actually be redeemed in any way given the mass amount of violence and murders he's committed?
I mean,
Can someone like Thorfinn get redemption and deserve it?
I think the problem here, or not the problem so much, a conversation to be had, is that redemption. So most of the time in a narrative, when we talk about redemption, we're usually talking about characters with with not an ultimate perspective, but a perspective given by a few close characters. Say, like Gul Dukat in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, right?
Yeah.
Where he's a horrible war criminal. But our point of view characters to seek his redemption are just like Kira and the Bajorans, right? And the difference here is that Thorfinn is no longer connected to any of the people he's harmed. The only connection he has to them is internalized. And he can tell people, hey, I used to be this. But that's just introducing a new person to your personal narrative. So, the redemption that we would be talking about is 100% internalized. He cannot seek redemption from the people he's hurt. Because consequently, the people he's... Yeah. And nobody left alive would know who the fuck he is. So, literally, I mean, even the people that would go after him now aren't coming after him because of the harm that he's caused them. Canute's not like, God, I gotta go kill Thorfinn. As far as Canute's concerned, Thorfinn has gotten his redemption he's serving it now as a slave. This is as far as the law is concerned with Thorfinn. So it's all internal now. It's what does redemption mean when you decide it for yourself, which tends to not be the way the redemption really works.
Right, but I mean, like, he has a good, strong, motivating guilt about it. He is interested in undoing some amount of harm, and those are good motivations. I mean, because obviously, if you were to, like, strip that from the character and say, like, this is a person who wants to make up for it, but he does not feel bad about the murders he did, that would be really weird and hard to, like, justify at all, right? He needs to have that guilt motivating him,
I don't know,
otherwise it does not work.
You're presenting a hypothetical, and I'd have to see that play out to be able to... I'm not going to say it would
Imagine if you would, an asshole.
I'm saying it's not impossible for a person to want to do good but not feel bad about what they've done. I mean, you can feel that what you've done was necessary, a necessary evil. You can feel that what you've done was necessary, but I had to do it. But I still want to make up for what I've done without feeling bad.
But Thorfinn is all about feeling bad right now, so he's got that going for him. So I think that mostly covers Vinland Saga, unless you got any last things you want to add here, Theta.
I mean, I guess it's taken quite a while to assemble 70 guys. We didn't even see them on the boat yet.
They're on a long boat ride over.
Well, we never saw them gather on the boat because our last view there, not from Canute's point of view, but from Leaf's and Kettle's point of view, was that they were sailing out just as soon as they got the word, and that Canute was still getting Loki and his men assembled. So whenever whenever Leaf shows up with Kettle, we probably still have quite a while until Floki and them show up.
Right, we have like our timer here, where like as soon as they show up, there's gonna be like a day or two until like the people following them will probably show up.
I mean, probably more than that. I would not be
like
surprised.
I said, depends how long does it take to put 70 men onto a boat.
I would not be surprised if this season ends and that doesn't get resolved.
Yeah. That'd be surprising for me, I think.
Well, I think I mentioned before that we have enough Vinland Saga manga content to do like another 2 seasons, apparently.
So, let's look forward to another 2 seasons then, but for right now, I think let's go ahead and wrap it up. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?